we all know that Sisterlocks can be pretty expensive, so I'm going to give you 5 ways you can start to cut back on that cost. The first thing you can do is work with a trainee instead of working with a consultant. A consultant is someone who is certified by Sisterlocks. They went to the 4-day training course. They sent in pictures from at least 3 clients, and the Sisterlocks company looked at the pictures, assessed it, said, all right, your grid looking nice, your pattern looking nice, earthing looking nice, you're certified. A trainee, however, went to the 4-day course but has not sent in enough pictures, or maybe hasn't sent in any pictures of clients to say like, hey, look, I can do this. So with a trainee, you're probably going to have to sit in the chair and take pictures of your own head and your own grid so they can send that in exchange for being sort of like one of the first people that the trainee works on. You'll get a reduced rate. You will also have the opportunity of bonding with the trainee for much longer, because since they don't have experience, they're probably going to take a lot longer to install or establish your locks. So what might have taken a consultant 3 days might take a trainee 2 weeks, but you'll pay a lot less. The second thing you can do is travel. So of course, when you look for a consultant or a trainee, you're probably gonna type in your city or scroll down to your city and look at the people there. But if you live in a city that happens to be very expensive, it could also be because you live in a city where there aren't many consultants, so you can't really shop around for the best rate. You may consider trying somewhere outside of your city, maybe somewhere kind of close by that you can either drive to or take a bus to get to, where the cost of transportation plus the cost of getting the install, or plus the cost of getting the retightening, whichever one you're doing, is still less than doing it in your own home city. So for me, that meant traveling for about 3 hours. I just take the bus. It's a 2.5-hour bus ride, and then to get from the bus station to my consultant's shop, it takes me about another 45 minutes, so about 3 hours and change in total. Now you might be thinking, time is money today. 3 hours for travel, 3 hours there, 3 hours there, and 3 hours back. That's a lot of time. Well, that's why I take the bus, because you don't have to do anything, so I can still get some work done. You can arrange it so that you're going somewhere that you actually want to visit every 6 weeks. So I go to where my family lives. So I visit my parents and my siblings, and it works out because I'll do my appointment on Friday, and then I have Saturday and Sunday to hang out with my family. The next thing you can do, the third thing, is to cut off all your hair. Well, not all your hair, but you can cut off some of your hair. Most consultants and trainees, I think, will charge based off of the length of your hair. Even if your consultant charges by the day or charges hourly, having shorter hair will still cost less just because it takes less time. The fourth thing that you can do is to take a retightening course. So if you want to do your own retightenings, this will save you money. Basically, it'll be free. But you should do it no sooner than 6 months after your install. So at least for the first 6 months, you should really be working with a consultant or a trainee, just a professional, to make sure you're getting your hair started on the right path and to facilitate the initial locking process. And then I would, chat with your consultant and see when he or she thinks is a good time for you to start doing things on your own, right? You want to do it based off of the health of your own hair and how you're doing specifically, because you're your own person, The class is generally $250. Of course, there's always a little caveat, because if you live in New York City or you want to take your retightening course in New York City, it's gonna be more expensive. So that's $350 instead of the $250. So if you're trying to save that cash money, you might think about going outside of New York City. Maybe traveling upstate, maybe traveling to Jersey. But of course, you gotta do a cost-benefit analysis and say, the cost of my travel, is it worth $100? The cost of my travel, the cost of my time to get there, is it worth it? If you're outside of the States, it's even more expensive. So I know in London and Paris, it's $400. At least that's what it was the last time I checked, which was like 10 minutes ago, so. And finally, number 5, last but not least, actually this might be the least for a lot of you because it is to not get Sisterlocks. Now, before you freak out, I just mean that there are a handful of other types of locks you can get that might give you the same benefits that you're looking for out of Sisterlocks. So it really just depends on what you're looking for. But Sisterlocks is and I didn't know all of this when I first got my install, so you may already know it, but I'm just saying because I didn't know, I would have liked to know ahead of time. But anyway, Sisterlocks is a type of interlock. It's one type of interlock, meaning there are other types of interlocks that can get you basically tiny locks. Maybe not necessarily as tiny as Sisterlocks, but really small. So it might work for you. You can also get traditional locks and make them really small. I've seen a lot of locks like this that look really, really nice. You can do braid locks, and this is actually what I find to be the most interesting. So I really suggest you look into this if you're thinking of Sisterlocks but trying to save money. And if I knew about braid locks before I got my install, I might have been all about that. I don't know. But basically, with braid locks, you braid your hair, and I guess this is a way that you can also retain your length without, paying crazy prices. But you braid your hair, and you can braid it however you want. So you can determine the size, you can determine the grid that you're using, if you want to use a pattern like that. And that means that you can do it yourself if you know how to braid. If you're more like me, you can call up your friend or call up your sister or text your mom, be like, hey, can you help me out? And then when your new growth comes in, you interlock or twist the new growth. And then over time, the whole shaft will lock up. I think that's brilliant. So that's a direction that you can take. Or, look at small traditional locks, other types of interlocks, things like that. Always an option. Okay, that's all I have for this one. I hope you found some of it helpful, and if you did, you can just hit that thumbs up button and maybe also click this huge subscribe button that's chilling on the screen, but it's up to you. Either way, I hope to see you again soon. Bye!